Let's continue our discussion around important concepts for scientific research. Proposition is a tentative or conjectural relationship between constructs that is stated in a declarative form. Think of an example. An increase in students' intelligence in this case is a construct, remember, causes an increase in the academic achievement. So we have two constructs there: students' intelligence and academic achievement. This statement is a declarative form. We have declared that an increase in student intelligence causes an increase in the academic achievement. These should be testable because we can develop variable to test intelligence and to test or to measure intelligence and measure academic achievement. So this kind of declarative form of proposition or declarative statement can be derived from logic or based on observation. So they represent an association between abstract constructs, but it should be noted that they cannot be tested directly because they are still constructs. We are not going to be able to test them until we turn them to hypothesis. We turn that statement into hypothesis, and we turn those constructs into variables that are measurable. Then we can have something that is testable. So from our proposition we derive our hypothesis. Hypothesis in this case means an empirical formulation of propositions. So we take the proposition, we turn it into something that is empirical. So to make it empirical, we turn the construct into variables. The hypothesis could be weak and it could be a strong one. A weak one indicates no direction or causality. If we look at the example, student IQ is related to their grade point average. In this case, students' IQ score represents the student's intelligence, while the grade point average represents their academic achievement. So we don't know the direction or the causality, we just know that they are related to one another. That is a weak hypothesis. But if we say student IQ is positively related to their grade point average, we are already indicate the causality that this one leads to a positive change in this relates to a positive change in this. An increase in one leads to an increase in the other one. We have indicate direction, and we, even though we didn't say causality, which one causes one, we know that they are related and the direction of the relationship. This is a strong hypothesis. So remember what to take note here. We generate proposition as a tentative statement in a declarative form. We turn those, because we cannot test the proposition directly, we turn it into hypothesis, which is an empirical form of proposition. The construct from the proposition must be turned to variables in the hypothesis. The hypothesis may be weak or it may be strong. A weak one shows no direction or causality. A strong one shows direction but not causality. So, when you are doing hypothesis, it must be clear which one is the independent variable and which one is the dependent variable. In our case, the achievement which is the grade point average, is dependent on the student IQ test. So the dependent variable is the grade point average, and the independent variable is the student IQ. We cannot turn it the other way around and say grade point average is the independent variable and the student IQ score is the dependent variable. No, it doesn't work that way, because we have to clearly state which one is the cause and which one is the effect. So we must state the hypothesis in such a way that we know what is the cause and what is the effect. Let's look a little bit closer. IQ score and the GPA, grade point average, are operationalized measure of intelligence and academic achievement respectively, as I've stated earlier. So let's look at how we turn them. An increase in students' intelligence causes an increase in their academic achievement. A proposition essentially works at the theoretical plane. Okay? And the hypothesis works at the empirical plane. So, an increase in student IQ causes an increase in their grade point average. That is what we have. So, we have a strong hypothesis now, that because we're indicating the direction of the relationship. So we test using tools of hypothesis testing to infer whether the proposition stated earlier is valid or invalid.